Hi everyone, in this video we will be discussing the introduction to differential equation. So let us define first what is differential equation. It is an equation involves coefficient or differentials. So meron akong tatlo ditong examples of differential equation. Now meron tayong tinatawag na dependent at saka independent variable when it comes to differential equation. So, ang gagawin nyo guys to know the independent and dependent variable of a given differential equation, titignan nyo muna yung derivative niya at saka yung variable na ginamit doon sa derivative. Okay, let's have the first example. So, d squared y over dx squared, or ibig sabihin nito guys is the second derivative. Okay, ito, ang ibig sabihin niyan is the second derivative, minus 3x dy over dx plus x squared y is equal to 0. Now, unahin nyo muna yung dependent variable. Ang dependent variable is yung variable na ginamit ng derivative sa numerator. So, meron tayong dalawang derivative dito. Ito, second derivative at saka first derivative. So, titignan nyo yung ginamit niya na variable sa numerator and that would be the dependent variable. So, in this case, meron tayong y and then y. So, meaning, ang dependent variable sa example nito is y. Okay? Ngayon, yung independent variable naman, yung ginamit na variable ng derivative sa denominator naman siya, guys. So, in this case, ito yung derivative natin, at saka ito. So, ang ginamit niyang variable is x squared tsaka x. So, meaning, ang variable na, independent variable natin is x. So, we have one dependent variable and we have one independent variable, which are x and y. Okay? Now, let us have the second example. So, 5d squared v all over dx squared plus 6d squared v all over dy squared is equal to 0. So, again, unahin natin yung dependent. So, ang dependent variable natin dito, meron tayong ginamit na v. Ayan, v rin to. So, meaning, ang dependent dito, guys, is v. Okay, ang independent naman dito is we have x at saka y. So, meaning, x and y. So, we will have x and y independent variable. So, dalawa siya, guys. Okay? Now, kapag ganito yung given niya, so we have cosine x dx plus sine y dy is equal to 0. Pagka ganito, guys, pwedeng x or y yung independent variable. Kasi, for example, dinivide ko to yung buong differential equation sa dx. So, ang magiging ano niyan is cosine x. Okay, so makakancel to dito for the cosine x dx plus sa sine naman, sa sine y, magiging dy over dx is equal to 0. Kapag ganito yung equation ninyo, dinivide nyo siya sa dx, syempre, ang magiging dependent dyan is ito yung derivative natin. So, y yung ginamit niyang variable dyan. And then, ang independent dito is x. Okay? Ngayon, kung i-divide ko naman siya sa dy, so, divide ko sa dy to. So, kunyari, ayan. So, pagka dinivide naman natin siya sa dy, okay, so, ang magiging equation natin would be cosine x dx over dy plus, so, para naman kay sine y dy, makakancel yung dy. So, ang magiging sagot ay sine y na lang equals 0. So, again, ito naman yung derivative natin, dx over dy. So, kapag ganito, ang dependent nyo dyan would be x, ayan, kasi siya yung nasa numerator ng derivative. And then, ang independent niyan would be y. Okay? So, it's either divide nyo siya by dy or divide nyo by dx. Okay? So, ito yung dependent and independent niya kapag ka sa dy siya. Kapag ka naman dinivide siya by dx, ito yung dependent and independent niya. Okay? So, ang magiging dependent dito, guys, is x or y. Yan yung final answer natin. And then, ang independent natin, it is also x or y. Depende kung saan nyo siya i-divide. Okay? Ito, x and y. Kasi obviously, dalawa sila. Now, let us have the types of differential equation. So, there are two types of differential equation. We have the ordinary differential equation and partial. So, ordinary, an equation in which all the differential coefficients have reference to a single independent variable. So, meaning kapag meron kang isang independent variable lang, ang tawag doon ay ordinary differential equation. Now, yung partial naman, syempre, the equation which contains two or more independent variables. So, pag meron ka ng dalawa or mas higit pa sa dalawa na independent variable, that is called partial differential equation. At the same time, kapag nakakita kayo na ganitong symbol sa differential equation, ang tawag dun guys is partial differential equation. Okay? Now, let us identify these differential equation, whether it is an ordinary or partial differential equation. Let us have this one, number 1. So, d squared y all over dx squared minus 3x dy over dx plus x squared y is equal to 0. Now, ang gagawin nyo, identify nyo yung independent niya. So, ang independent dito, guys, yung nasa denominator ng derivative. So, I have two derivatives, ito, at saka ito. So, ang ginamit na variable is x. X to, x din to. Okay? So, meron lang tayong isang independent variable. It is the variable x. So, ibig sabihin, this one is called ordinary differential equation. Itong number 1 is ordinary differential equation. Okay? Let's have number 2. So, 5d squared v all over dx squared plus 6d squared v all over dy squared is equal to 0. So, again, ang independent natin, we have two derivatives. Ito, ayan. So, ang independent is x and y. So, x and y, parehas silang present sa independent variable. So, kapag ka dalawa or more, ang independent variable, that is called partial differential equation. So, this one is partial differential equation. Okay? Let's have number 3. So, ito, pwede nating i-divide sa dx or pwede nating i-divide sa dy. Pag dinivide ko to sa dx, katulad niyan yung kaninang example. So, pag dinivide ko yan sa dx, ayan, okay? So, magiging cosine x plus sine y dy over dx. So, kapag pipili lang kayo ng isa, guys, is equal to 0. Okay, so pipili lang kayo ng isa. So, ang pinili ko, dx. So, pag dinivide ko yan sa dx, ang magiging independent ko dyan is x lang. So, may isa lang. Okay? Ngayon, pag dinivide ko yan sa dy, meron ding isa pa rin. Isa lang din yung kanyang magiging independent variable. Not x and y. Isa lang. So, pagka dinivide ko to sa dy, ang kakalabasan, so, syempre, makakancel yung dy dito. So, magiging cosine, okay, cosine x dx over dy plus sine y is equal to 0. Okay, so, ang independent natin dyan naman is y. Again, baka sabihin nyo, ma'am, dalawa po kasi x and y. Hindi yun ganun, guys. Pipili lang kayo ng isa. So, it's either dy or dx. Now, kapag ka-divide nyo yun, ang kakalabasan ng independent variable nyo ay isa lang. So, ang independent variable dito is x or y, not x and y like this one. So, x or y lang. So, meaning to say, ang magiging sagot natin dito sa number 3 is ordinary differential equation. Kasi isa lang naman yung independent variable niya. Kasi, depende lang naman yon kung saan nyo siya i-divide. Unlike this one, given na siya na dalawa talaga. Okay? Let's have number 4. Okay? So, the partial second derivative of y over partial derivative of x squared minus partial y over partial x is equal to 0. Pagka nakakita kayo, guys, ng partial na symbol, automatic, that is called partial differential equation. Kahit na, pagka tinignan nyo kasi yung independent variable dyan, isa lang, which is x. Okay? So, meron lang tayong x na independent variable. Kahit na parehas yan, kung meron kang symbol ng partial derivative, that would be partial differential equation. Okay? Now, let us have the degree and the order of differential equation. So, how do we identify the degree and what is the order of a given differential equation? So, let us define first what is the degree and the order. So, the degree of the highest derivative occurring in it. So, that would be the degree of differential equation after the equation has been expressed in a form free from radicals. Pag sinabi naman nating order, the order of the highest derivative appearing in it. Kapag ka nag-identify kayo, guys, ng degree at saka ng order, it can be confusing. So, ang gawin nyo na lang, unahin nyo yung order bago yung degree. So, pag sinabi nating order, highest derivative appearing in the differential equation. So, yung may pinakamataas na derivative. Kasi halimbawa, ito, second derivative ang ibig sabihin niyan. Ito, first derivative. Ito, second derivative. Okay? So, ang gagawin nyo, unahin nyo yung order bago yung degree. Okay? So, unahin nyo yung order bago degree. So, pag sinabi nating order, highest derivative appearing in the differential equation. In this case, dito sa number 1 natin, ang highest derivative dyan is second derivative. Kaya ang order niyan ay 2. Okay? Ngayon, kapag naman sinabing degree, yung exponent ng highest derivative. Highest derivative occurring, the degree of the highest derivative occurring in it. So, ito yung highest derivative natin at ano yung kanyang degree. So, ito obviously ay naka-raise sa 1. May imaginary raise to 1 yan. So, ibig sabihin, ang degree niyan ay 1. Okay? Next one, ang order naman nito, so we have the same. Squared to, squared din to. So, ibig sabihin, second derivative, ang order dito guys ay 2. And then, ang degree naman natin ay 1. Kasi raised to 1 yan. Okay? Itong number 3, ang order naman dito ay highest dyan is ito. Diba? Ito kasi guys, partial derivative of y, first derivative lang yun. Ito, second partial derivative kasi may squared siya. So, ang order dito ay 2. Okay? Ngayon, ang degree nito, kahit na ang nakita nyong pinakamataas na exponent ay 3 ng isang derivative, titingin pa rin kayo dun sa may highest derivative. Ito kasi yung highest derivative natin. So, this one is raised to 1. So, again, ang degree nito ay 1 pa rin. Okay? Kahit nakita nyo, cube yan, hindi naman kasi ito yung highest order or highest derivative. Yung degree, guys, titingin kayo doon sa order or doon sa highest derivative. Okay? So, that is how you identify the degree and the order. Okay, let us have the linear differential equation and non-linear differential equation. So, meron tayong tinatawag, guys, na linear and non-linear. So, pag sinabi natin linear, it is an equation in which the dependent variable and its derivatives occur only in the first degree. And the non-linear differential equation is the differential equation which does not have the form of the linear differential equation. So, madali lang itong identify kung linear or non-linear. So, kapag ka yung derivative nyo, may exponent siya, aside from 1, parang kapag ka nag-identify kayo ng equation, di ba? Kapag ka meron tayong tinatawag na quadratic, meron tayong tinatawag na cubic, meron tayong linear. So, pagka sinabing linear, ang degree lang ng equation ay 1. So, linear yon. Pero pag nagkaroon ka ng 2 exponent, tinatawag natin siyang quadratic. Pagka may cube, cubic. So, parang ganon din dito, guys. Kung halimbawa ito, kunyari, the first one is the d squared x over dt squared plus k squared is equal to 0. So, ito, may imaginary yan na raised to 1. So, yun yung highest exponent natin, 1. So, ibig sabihin, itong number 1, linear differential equation siya, guys. Okay? Kapag ka may raised to 2 na kayo or raised to 3, okay, yun na yung tinatawag na non-linear. Okay, let's have itong number 2. So, sa number 2, raised to 1 lang din naman to at saka ito raised to 1. Hindi itong titignan nyo guys ha, order ang tawag dyan. So, titignan nyo rito kung meron kayong exponent or degree that is greater than or equal to 2. So, that is called non-linear. Okay? So, ito naman ay raised to 1 lang din. Ito rin, raised to 1. So, therefore, this one again is called linear. Okay? Ito guys, ito yung non-linear. So, as you can see, meron tayong raised to 3. Ito, ayan, raised to 3 siya. So, ibig sabihin, non-linear na siya. Okay? So, that is how you identify whether a differential equation is linear or non-linear equation, differential equation. Okay? Sige, i-summarize natin lahat ng parts nitong video natin. So, we have the identification of dependent or identifying the dependent and independent variable of a given differential equation, kung anong type niya, ordinary or partial, linear ba siya or non-linear, and then identifying the order and then the degree of the given equation. Okay, let's have number 1. dy over dx is equal to 2x plus 15. So again, ang dependent natin dito, tingnan niyo yung derivative niya, yung nasa numerator. So ang dependent niyan ay y, and then ang independent niya ay x. Yung sa denominator, kaya titingnan. Okay? Now, pag sinabi nating type, malalaman natin na ordinary siya kapag ka meron siyang isa lang na independent variable. If it has 2 or more than, it is called partial. Okay? Tinatawag din natin siyang partial if it has the symbol of the partial derivative. Okay? So, in this case, ang independent natin ay 1 lang kasi x lang yung independent variable natin. Therefore, this one is called ordinary differential equation. Okay? Now, linear or non-linear ba siya? So, nakita natin na raised to 1 lang to guys. Therefore, this one is called linear. Okay? So, unahin niyo yung order. Ang order nito, ano yung highest derivative? So, ang highest derivative natin, first derivative, dy over dx. So, ang highest natin ay 1, highest order derivative. Okay? Yung degree naman, ng highest order natin, so ito ay naka-raise sa 1, so therefore, ang degree natin ay 1. Okay? Let's have naman number 2. So, 5y double prime raised to 2 plus 10y prime raised to 3 is equal to 3x minus y. So, pwede natin itong i-write since hindi natin nakikita kung ano independent. I-write natin siya, guys. So, pwede natin i-write to as 5 times. So, yung y double prime, ibig sabihin second derivative. So, that would be d squared y over dx squared. And then, naka-ratio sa 2. Yan. Plus 10. And then, y prime is the first derivative. So, dy over dx cube yan is equal to 3x minus y. So, ang dependent natin dito, so we have y here, and then y din dito. So, therefore, ang dependent ay y. Ang independent natin, x squared, tsaka x. So, ang independent variable is x variable. Okay? Since we only have one independent variable, which is x, so therefore, this one is called ordinary differential equation. Now, this one is non-linear, obviously, kasi meron na tayong squared raised to 2, meron pa tayong cube. So, non-linear siya. Okay? Now, ang order natin, ano yung highest order derivative? We have this one. Ayan. The second derivative, or d squared y. So, ang order natin ay 2. And then, titignan nyo guys kung ano yung degree ng highest order. So, ang highest order natin ay 2. Ano ba yung degree niya? 2 rin. So, ibig sabihin, ang degree ay 2. Ito guys, palagi kayong titingin sa order. Ibig sabihin, ano yung degree ng highest order derivative? Yun ang tinutukoy na degree. Okay? Next one, number 3. So, ang dependent natin dito ay y pa rin. And then, ang independent, so x squared tsaka x. Okay? Since meron tayong symbol ng partial derivative, therefore, this is already considered a partial differential equation. Hindi yan porkit isa lang yung independent, which is x, ordinary siya guys. Ang palaging tatandaan kapag ka-partial, it's either 2 or more independent variables, and then, kung meron siyang partial derivative symbol. So, in this case, ayan yung mga symbols natin ng partial derivative. Therefore, this one is called partial differential equation. Okay? And then, linear pa rin to. Ayan. Obviously, wala tayong raised to 2 or raised to 3 or raised to 4. Ang ating exponent lang dyan ng mga derivatives natin ay 1. Okay? Raised to 1 to. Ito din, raised to 1. Okay? Now, ang order natin, ano ba yung highest order derivative natin dito? So, we have this one, 2, second derivative. Okay, and then ano yung degree nitong highest natin na to? 1. So, ang degree nito ay 1. Okay, let us have naman number 4. So, dy plus the quantity of 2xy minus cotangent x close quantity dx is equal to 0. So, again, parang yan yung first na example natin kanina. Pwede nyo siyang i-divide by dy or pwedeng i-divide siya by dx. It's either of the two. So, pag dinivide ko yan by dy, so, madi-divide siya by dy, magiging dy over dy, magiging 1 plus, and then this one would be 2xy minus cotangent x. And then ito, magiging dx over dy equals 0. Okay, pag dinivide na by dy. Pag dinivide ko naman yan by dx, magiging dy, dito na lang ha. So, dy over dx plus, and then itong dx na to makakancel pag dinivide mo siya by dx, times 2xy minus cotangent x, and then equals 0. Okay? So, pwedeng ang dependent natin dito, pagka dinivide siya by dy is x. Pag dinivide naman siya by dx, y ang dependent. So, ibig sabihin, it's either of the two. So, ang dependent natin dito ay x or y. Not x and y, ha? So, x or y lang. Okay? And then, ang independent natin dito, again, it's either of the two. So, x or y. So, again, ang type natin dito, guys, is ordinary. Kahit na, pareha silang pwede, pero kapag ka naman by 1 siya, isa lang pa rin yung nag-a-appear na variable. So, it's either y or it's either x. Depende kung saan nyo siya i-divide. So, ordinary pa rin yan, guys. Okay? Now, this one is also linear. So, as you can see, we only have one degree, which is raised to 1. So, wala tayong raised to 2 or greater than 2. Okay? Ang order naman dito is 1. Ayan, obviously, kahit dito, 1 yan. Dito, 1 pa rin ang ating highest derivative. Okay? And then, ang degree niyan parehas, guys, is raised to 1. Ito rin, kahit alin dyan, raised to 1. So, ang magiging degree natin ay 1. Okay? Last one, ito, number 5. So, ang dependent natin, we have y and then x. So, dito, hindi x or y. X and y because they are both divisible in the equation. Okay? And then, ang independent natin dito, t squared and then t. So, ang variable is t. Okay? Since we only have one independent variable, which is letter t, then therefore this is ordinary differential equation. Now, this one is nonlinear. Ayan. Nonlinear siya because we have quantity derivative x over dt raised to 2. Ito, ayan. So, may raised to 2 ka dyan, therefore nonlinear. Okay, ang order nito guys, ano ba yung highest derivative natin? Ito, second derivative, which is d squared y over dt squared. So, ang order natin ay 2. And then, ano yung degree nitong order na to? So, this one is raised to 1. So, the answer is 1. Okay? Hindi 2 ha? Doon kayo. Basta guys, itong degree, magbe-base kayo doon sa order niya. So, yung may highest order, yun yung magiging degree. So, the degree will be coming from the highest order derivative. Okay? So, that is it for the introduction of the differential equations.